Welcome to Midlife Mix.
Am I your first Canadian podcast?
Oh my God. And they say you always remember your first.
Both things can be true.
He's cheating on you. He's busting up your barbershop.
Okay, we're doing group chat here. We have Lisa, Krista, myself. Okay, let's talk a little bit about our history. I don't actually remember becoming friends with you guys.
Oh, because you didn't want to be friends with anyone.
No,
actually.
you were such a cunt.
No, the rudeness.
No, but she just was. Rachel, you were very shy.
No,
and very quiet. And
Quiet,
you
yes.
came across as like when you walked into the school or like walked into the park, you came across as, please don't talk to me or I
Yes.
will kill you.
Yes, that's true.
Don't approach me because I hate people is the way you came across.
Yeah, you and I walked with a mutual friend. I'm going to say at least a good month, and you did not speak to me once. And you know I don't shut up. We all know this, right? So I would talk from, where we would meet at the park and then walk to the school and walk back, and you wouldn't say a word. And then I said one day, oh, I'm thinking about getting a dog. And
That's all it takes.
And that's what it took.
all
And
it
you were like,
takes.
verbal diarrhea, all the way. And that's how the friendship, but it took about a month. And I'm like, this chick is not talking at all. Like, you didn't say a word. You would
Well,
just
you
nod
didn't
your
stop
head.
talking and she didn't have a chance to actually
That
talk.
could also be another
Yeah,
reason
that's
why.
probably what happened.
I don't know, but maybe. Yeah.
I think I'm just misunderstood.
No.
And I'm actually the nicest one.
No,
of this
You
group.
actually are.
Let's put it to a vote. Do you like people, Rachel?
Hey, listen.
A percentage of them.
I'm going to tell you
Very
something.
small.
At your wedding, they all spoke to her and gave her drinks. And
Thank you.
to me.
They all thought I was
Why?
nice.
I don't
They all
know.
thought I
They
was
don't
nice.
know.
Yes,
They
didn't
don't know
talk
you.
to me. They spoke to her, and I looked at Rachel and said, "You're not nice.
You're not nice.
I go, why are they all? No one's talking to me. They spoke to her. She is. She will do anything for anyone. That is the truth. But you do give resting bitch face, which is fine.
It's not my fault.
No, it's not your fault. But it helps with that, with wrinkles and
Yeah.
fine lines. So really, I say it's a
I'm
win.
keeping it real.
Yeah.
So we became friends when our kids were small.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
We're
were in
mommy
our
friends.
30s.
Like what? 7 years old?
friends.
Yeah, early 30s. Yeah.
I don't know how, but it happened.
It was Avery's 5th birthday, actually. Avery's 5th birthday at the park. And we made you come to that. And then it was all of a sudden, it started from there.
Made you come to that.
I actually remember that. You know why I remember that? Because
Yeah.
I had no idea who Avery was or if she was a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I was
the name,
saying
yeah.
to Tristan, my son, I was like, is Avery a little boy or a little girl?
Do we
And
need a
he's like,
Barbie or a truck?
yeah, he's like, I don't know, Mom. And I'm like, okay. So I went and bought a boy gift and a girl gift. And
Or were
then
they in the
like-
same class at the time?
And I was like, oh, girl.
Juliet babysitting. All the
Oh,
babysitting.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
because Avery's older.
That's really who got us all together, really.
All the
Is that the
babysitting.
one mutual, the babysitter, yeah.
But I think what worked, other than the fact that we all had kids the same age,
Yeah.
that was the common denominator, and we lived in
Yeah.
the same area. But in those times when you're 30 years old, there's a lot of mommy wars. There's a lot of moms trying to out-mom other moms.
I was
and
the best of the best.
You were a Stepford
Yeah.
freaking wife, mom. You were the whole package right here. Yes, you were. That's
But we
the truth.
didn't compete with one another in
No.
the mommy wars.
No,
No,
there was
no. In
there was
our
also there was no judgment. Like
No.
I remember, Graydon didn't want to leave the park at one point, and like he was bawling his eyes out, and I threw him over my shoulder, and I walked to the park, and you're like, that makes sense. See you later.
don't you remember
no,
when you-
no
you-
problem. Carry on.
You left him there. You had to go home either to start dinner because that's when you lived on my street. And he rolled in mud. Like he literally
that makes
rolled in
sense,
puddles of mud. And I just took pictures and I just kept sending them to her.
Yeah.
I go, this is where your kid's at. Like
Come get
she's
your
like,
kid.
great, thanks. No, we were all in very different situations because I was going through that situation with my ex. You were very much a Stepford wife because it was before your youngest. And you were living your life, but we all had problems, but we all meshed
weren't-
very well.
But
and
I
no
don't
one
think we were-
judged
and I don't
each
think
other.
we were sharing our problems
No,
at that
are you
point.
joking? Nobody.
Yeah.
Do you not see the pictures? The pictures that you have sent.
What pictures?
Rachel will have things come up on Facebook, like memories, right?
Yeah.
Like back in the day. And we look horrible and miserable. Bro, bad. Because we were
probably had, like, I
miserable.
had
we were
babies.
raising small human beings that we loved with our hearts, but we weren't happy in ourselves.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? It was
There's a lot of
bad.
khaki pants.
Yeah. A lot of hairs up in buns.
Hairs and
Very
buns.
bad colors. Very you know what it
pants.
was? It was the leggings with the long tank top shirt with like those, what are those, like jackets, like the long sweaters. There was a lot of those looks. It was a lot of those looks.
Elastic bands. I
Wouldn't
remember.
you love? Listen, if the three of us now
Our Joey
could
Thanksgiving
speak
pants.
to the three of us then, right? Like have them in front, we would make fun of them. We would make fun of them. That's the truth. In a way, like
We're too judgy now.
yeah, we were judgy then. We're not as judgy now. I feel like.
I'm sorry. What?
We're the
I
only
feel
three
like-
people that talk to each other. We have no other friends. Let's be honest.
This is true in some capacity, but in our 30s, we were bad though too. Because look, if our 30s could see us in our 40s, they would be like, "Bro, what are you doing? Like, how are you doing that? That's so bad." Blah 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 blah. Truth or not, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even drinking. I think I was probably judging people
drinking.
that
We
were
having
drinking.
dinner
Yeah.
at 3 p.m.
No,
I
we
still
were.
like
Yes,
that
we
now,
were.
though. I could have a dinner. It's
And
fine.
you guys
it's
never
fine.
drank. You
I
guys
like
never
a
drank.
We
geriatric
didn't
dinner.
drink.
No, you didn't drink.
I'm all for the geriatric dinner.
Yeah, you're.
That's
so true.
I'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
All right, let's talk about this phase of life that we're in.
yeah,
Okay,
I love
Midlife,
it.
Late 40s.
yeah.
What do you love most about this phase of life? Start with you.
Well, I think that even now, even in my mid-40s, I'm still in a different phase of life than you guys because I still have Cameron, who's 10
That's
years
true.
old.
That's true.
right. And you are still married, like long term, and going through this empty nester feeling. Even though Avery's now gone to McGill, I still have Cameron and Graydon at home, and I have Brody and I have now been married for just a year. We've been together for about 4 years now, but it's still just a fairly new relationship. So even though it's 4 years together, married 1, it's still like the butterflies are still there and the dating is still there. It's still like this pretty newlywed feeling with Brody. And you're like fully single, right? So
And
it's
not
still,
dating.
and not dating. Please, I wish you were dating.
Okay, so that's
You know what I would suggest the next podcast is going to be us little like drinking around
Going
here,
through Hinge?
but going through Hinge and Tinder and whatever those dating apps are and finding your husband.
Yeah, we're all in different stages of our life, which I
Yeah.
find hilarious. Like you're still married with the same guy for many, many years, empty nester, exactly that. I'm single 3 years in May, right? Single 3 years in May.
But let's be honest, single
haven't-
for like 20 years.
I know. I haven't even been on a date. I just want to go on a date. Just a date. I haven't even done that yet.
You want to know how you can do that? Just say fucking yes.
Okay.
Just say yes to the dates. How many times have we been asked on dates or
I've
asked
been
to do
asked.
stuff?
I've
You
been
don't
asked.
say yes.
No, I'm
You
not
don't
the-
say yes.
I'm not the nicest when we go out. That
You're not
is
the nicest
true.
at all.
Oh, who's not the nice one? Sorry, was it me?
No, me
It's-
apparently.
yeah,
I'm not the
it's
nicest.
Lisa.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, okay.
Thank you.
So, but my kids
Your
still
way
live
of
at
flirting
home.
is just being mean to people.
I'm not mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mean to people. Mean to boys.
I am mean to boys.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because of my situation, but I'm trying to change this. I'm trying to be nicer, and I will speak when I go out now. This is a promise that I
as
make
of
to people.
tomorrow.
I promise that I will start talking to people
Good.
more. Aren't you? Do you like this phase of life?
The empty nester?
Yeah, just like where you're at mentally, even in your 40s.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
I like it better than the 30s.
100%. 30s. I want to erase the 30s. I'm not kidding. In some
you
sense,
gotta erase the
not
30s.
with the kids, but with me, my mentality.
But we needed to go through all that. We
Yeah.
needed to go through it.
That's true.
The
I
30s for
hated
me
it,
were
though.
like, because Tristan was so young.
Yeah.
Like I had him when I was just shy of 30. And then I
Yeah.
started building a business when
You've
he
done
was
amazing.
6. And so I was just like grinding. Like I felt like, I honestly feel like I missed it. Like I see like parents taking their kids to school and, like holding their little hands,
Yeah.
walking down the sidewalk. And I get sad sometimes. I'm like, oh, I fucking missed it. Because during that time of life, I was so like, oh my God, I have to go home. I have to schedule this interview.
know.
I have to make this
Yeah.
money. I have to. And I feel like I didn't take the time to enjoy it as much as I should. And then
Yeah.
before you know it, they're 18 and they're out of the house.
I
Like he's
know.
away at school. And I feel like I missed it. Some
I
of
can
it.
loan
you
you
have guilt.
Cameron. I can loan you Cameron. You can.
That's true.
It's
hold her
not
hand.
guilt. It's a feeling of loss.
I kind of was in the same situation. I was always running. I never took my kids to school and we didn't work from home back then because it was all before COVID and all that stuff. So, somebody was always picking up, dropping off my kids. Do I have any resentment or loss? I don't feel that myself in that aspect of it. I think because it was just so go, go, go. I feel like how you were saying before about the selfish thing. I feel selfish now. So I'm not going to have regrets for things that I didn't get to do beforehand, because I feel like as women, our lives get taken from us. Our personal lives get taken from us. The minute we decide to be with another person, especially i.e. maybe if it's a man or whatever the case may be, or have children, we give up a huge part of our lives for many, many years. Mm-hmm. And then we turn around and we're in our 40s or 50s or whatever the case may be. And you're like,
why are you looking at me when you say 50?
I'm going to be the first one that's going to hit 50 and
Happy birthday.
Right? Like, I don't know. I'm just like, I totally feel more selfish now. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Fuck
Brody
it.
made
I
me
want
selfish.
to do what I want to do.
I think that's when I first realized I wanted to be
And
selfish.
you are doing a lot, like of things that's amazing right now. So would you have done them in your 30s? Probably not, because you had a little one.
I was working towards this in my 30s. I
Yeah.
started this when he was just 5 or 6 years old.
Exactly, right? Like, and look where you're at now with it. Right?
I quit my job when he was a little kid, but
Yeah.
I couldn't quit my job and be a stay-at-home mom because we couldn't afford it.
No chance.
So I was always working and hustling, and I would take care of him during the day, and I would
Yeah.
freelance at night, and I would be writing. I'd be writing till 2 a.m, then get up and do it again.
Yeah.
So it changed. That's why I feel like I was always in that sort of hustle mode. So when I see it, I was watching this movie last night. Fucking horrible movie. It was called
Hallmark?
No, it was called Night Bitch.
Night bitch.
Chris thought I would like it because it has dogs in it.
Who's in it though?
Amy Adams.
Yes. What is it about?
Oh, it's a werewolf or something, right?
yeah.
It's like she's a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And she's got a young kid, and she basically turns into a dog. But anyway,
Oh, that's why.
yeah. So that's why. But it's showing shots of her like walking like with her little guy, and he's like blonde, and it kind of reminded me of like Tristan,
Yeah.
who's a little guy. And like when they're little and they have that gobbledygooky kind of language where they're like la, 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 and you have these full-out conversations that mean nothing, and I'm like, oh, I kind of miss that. I feel like I missed
still
it.
miss
But
that.
otherwise, like, I'm happy in this time of life. I feel like we're also more confident in this time of life.
Do you think that you missed that because that was such a huge part of your life? Because that's what you're programmed to do in the sense is to be a mom and to take. Do you know what I mean? So now, in the next phase of your life, because your son is gone and mine will go, and whatever the case may be, like they're living their lives. You're so used to being that person for them that you don't remember who you are sometimes. So then it's a loss, right? In that sense, because
I feel like it's not that I don't know who I was. And I think because I had worked throughout his childhood that I always had that. Like, I look at my life and I have a very full life. I have 2 careers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always busy, making money, what have you. But I didn't realize how much I would miss having him. Like the other, what was it? Probably about a month ago, I think I offered to make Krista's kid lunch.
Yeah.
Really? And she's like, Rachel, are you so fucked right now that you're
What's wrong
asking
with you,
to
really?
make Cameron lunch? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I am. Because that was such a big part of my life.
We've been through stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
traumatic stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
deaths, divorces,
Yeah.
custody battles, no money, whatever the case is.
oh yeah,
the hardest day of my entire life, like hands down the hardest day of my entire life, was driving away from McGill, dropping Avery off the first time she left for university. So bringing her to university, moving her into McGill. She's so happy to be there. I've never been away from her before, and not letting her see how much that affected me, because I wanted her to be happy and have a great first year at university, and then turning around and getting into my car and driving back to Toronto. I literally wanted to drive off a cliff. I've never cried so hard in my entire life. And I'm like, my dad's died. I've like got a text message as like end of my 25-year marriage through text message, like divorces, whatever the case is. The hardest day of my entire life was leaving my daughter at university.
that's interesting, and that's for you, and that's for you too, isn't it? Like that was hard for you, wasn't it? To drop off.
Yeah, that was
Tristan?
hard. But
See, mine is my dad.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot your dad died.
My dad died not long ago. That
And the
was my
audit?
hardest. And then the audit and
Death and taxes.
death and taxes, as they say. That was my hardest.
Yeah.
That was my hardest day ever. It's interesting. Like, everybody
The
has
day that your
different-
dad
but
died
it's
is the hardest
interesting-
day?
Yeah. It's interesting how, like, because we all kind of went through things in the last, several months, right? Like, Tristan going to school, Avery going. Like, it's all, like, again, the change of life. Mine was my dad. And I was so petrified that I was going to spiral and go into huge depression because he was my person. And I didn't have a person never had. Nigel was never a person. He was never a person
Yeah.
I can go to with anything, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't know what, I felt like a little girl. I felt like, I still feel to this day like a scared little girl because I don't have a person to go to.
Yeah,
when
but your
something goes
dad,
wrong.
your dad should be your person. Your dad should be your dad.
Yeah.
There to protect you.
Exactly, and my protection is gone.
Yeah, I see that.
Do you see? So where Avery was like your security blanket in a sense because she went through everything
Yeah.
with you, with the demise of your marriage. She did see a lot more than you know of,
Oh,
right?
she,
Like,
she
same with
totally
James.
did.
Same with James.
She saw too much.
Saw too much. So when you dropped her off, it was a piece of you being left because that it's been the two of you fighting against the world.
It was over, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'll never be the same again.
No.
She'll never come home and live at home and be the same
No,
thing
it's
again.
different. It's
And
different.
if he does do that, it'll be different. But yeah, it was the end of something.
And it's the same with Tristan.
Yeah. I mean, it's part of life.
It is part of
changes.
life, right?
And when we talk about life's changes, I want to talk about now that we're in midlife.
Don't even say the word.
What?
Perimenopause?
No.
I hate that damn word.
I want to talk about what you don't care about anymore now that you're older. So I'll go first, okay?
Yeah.
To give you a sense of where I'm going here. I don't care about your kids' back to school pictures. Like, especially, you know, the
I don't
ones
think
with
you
the
cared about in your
chalkboards.
30s, yeah.
They're like, I'm going to be an astronaut. And I'm like, Sally, you're going to work at your father's account.
Yeah.
You're going to be
business.
divorced and sad, actually, Sally.
But like, that's what I don't care about. I don't care about, you know,
Other
your husband
people?
not cleaning up at home. I don't care about that stuff. What don't you care about anymore that maybe you listened to or you sat through or maybe you had an opinion about in your 30s?
Oh my God. I don't want to hear, I can't care about complainers. Does that make, like, if people don't do anything about something, that it annoys the shit out of me. In the sense of, I have how many jobs? I work out. I do it. I'm not saying you have to do that. I chose those things to do. But if you come to me and I got to hear you complain and you don't do nothing and I know you do nothing and then you're complaining on top of that, bitch, move to the side. I don't want to fucking hear it. Get off your ass and do something. So I can't take lazy ass people and complainers. Is that something?
Yeah.
And pictures of first day of school.
Maybe it's my expectations of people.
Yes, that's a good one.
Right? So
Yeah.
I have people in my life that are there for a reason, and some of it's more than others, right? Like I expect Rachel to, you know, pick me up with lollipops and candy and
Yeah.
drinks and take me to grocery shopping or whatever. I
Yeah.
expect that of you.
Yeah.
And there's other people that I just don't have the same expectations from. Like I don't care. They're in my life for some reason.
Yeah.
And when they don't show up or don't do what they should do, I'm like, I don't care.
That's true.
So
I mean,
they're not there for there. I
You've
don't
taught me
need
that.
them. I don't need them for that. Like let it
yeah,
go.
You've taught me
Let
that
it
one
go.
where I get agitated with things. You're like,
Yeah.
what does it bother you?
Who
Just let it
cares?
go. Who
Let it
cares?
go.
I can't
Don't take don't take it personally. Like they're not in your life for that reason.
But do
let
you
it go.
keep them around? Like I can't take
Yeah,
low
who
energy
cares?
people
They're
right
there.
now.
No, I don't care
can't
if they're
take it.
still there. But they're fun for a little bit.
For a
and-
reason and a
they're-
season.
Yeah, it's fun. But
That's true.
They're not there for like they're not my support or whatever
No,
the case
God,
is. But
no.
they're still fun to be around. They're still friends or whatever the case is. Even some of them are still family, and I don't need to see them all the time. Like
That's true.
those people in my life or in the periphery of my life are there for a reason, but I don't have the same expectations, and I don't get upset when they don't meet those anymore.
Have you
'cause
cut
I
people
don't.
out, though?
No, it does. I
I
don't
have.
need to. Right? They just.
Sometimes you just not
I
necessarily
don't
cut
even
them
need to
out, but
cut
just
them
go
out.
quiet.
I don't need to cut them out because I'm like when they show up, they show up, but if they don't show up, I don't care.
No, you're good
Like,
with that.
let
You
it
keep
go.
teaching me that lesson. I know. I get frustrated and I'll message you,
No,
and
let
you're
it
like,
go.
"Let it go, Leeds. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go." I try. It's a Scorpio in me. I have a hard time.
I saw this TikTok, and it was this woman in her 70s, and obviously we're not in our 70s. But she was doing a TikTok about all the stuff she refuses to do now that she's in her 70s.
Oh, yeah.
So it made me think, what do you refuse to do now that you are in your late 40s?
Oh my God. Like, oh shit. Give me an example, man. Fuck's sake.
Like she was like saying, I refuse to drive anywhere that doesn't have a parking lot.
That's.
I feel like it's the
one.
opposite, though. I feel like I'm the opposite. I'm like, now that I am in such a happier place in my life, and I have a partner who is actually a partner
Yeah.
in
Oh, yeah.
in love and in raising the kids, and this, just feeling better about myself. I feel like I'm saying yes more than I am saying no. Like we're going camping. Like I have never in my life been camping. And I'm like,
no
yes,
chance.
yes, we should do that. That's
Okay,
seems
so
like
that would be
something.
my thing.
We're all
No.
doing it.
We're going to the trailer. We're not
See,
going camping.
there's my number one thing. I will never go camping.
No,
now
me
that I'm
neither.
like late
Never
40s,
go
that's my
camping.
no.
I will.
So
put
this
my
is
ass
what
in a
I'm saying.
tent.
Send me a
I'm doing-
picture. Not
I'm now
happening.
doing the opposite of that. I'm doing more stuff because I'm happier. And I'm like, I want to do this. I want to
Okay, but what's your no? What are you saying? Where are you drawing the line where you're saying, no, I'm not
Okay,
doing this anymore?
So we were watching this TV show called Alone. Have you seen this TV show where they like drop people in the middle of Mongolia and they're like, yeah, like just live. And this one person like caught a snake and ate a snake. And Brody's like, how much to eat a steak? I'm like, nothing. Like I will never eat a snake. I will never go fishing and catch a fish and like cook it over the fire. Like it'll never
but you're going
happen.
camping. Guess what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but you can bring like hot dogs.
So bad.
You
So
can
what was
bring,
the
you can
question
bring food.
Now that you're in your late 40s,
Yeah.
What's my no?
what's your no? Like, where are you like, maybe that you did to people please or whatever
Oh,
back then?
100% people pleaser.
What would you do not do
yeah,
now?
as much as I talk, which we know I do a lot, I would agree with people, even if I didn't agree with their opinion on something. I'm like, oh, you do that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I understand. I won't do that anymore. I may not say anything, and I may not even say to you, I'd agree with what you're saying. I just won't respond to you, and I'll just pull away. But I did a lot of that. I never had my own opinion on a lot of stuff. I'd always be like, oh, yeah. I understand what you're saying. Oh, yeah, and I would totally not agree. But I would always say, yeah. So I won't put up with that shit no more. You have your opinion, I have mine. If you send me something in a DM, because obviously I have the business, I ain't responding to you if I don't like your message, because if I respond, it's going to go to the left. Because I can be a little bit volatile in my messages sometimes, if I want to be. So I'm learning to control that, but I won't put up with other people's opinions. If I don't like your opinion, I don't hate you, but I'm not agreeing with you either. Except for this group. Because we're very different. We are very different.
You think
but
we're different as people?
We are very different. We have 3 different lives going on. We've all experienced 3 different, me being, European, you living in freaking Winnipeg before that. Did you live in Winnipeg as well? No. You having the Stepford wife kind of life that you've had. Like, they're all, and you lived on your own from how old? You came over here at what, 18,
You're very
19?
independent, Rach.
Very independent. You had a very independent life.
You're still very independent.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't fucking know you were Maltese for how many years? Do you know what I'm saying? We all live different
That's your
lives.
identity, though?
No.
What?
You idiot.
Oh, I forgot
A
to tell you,
different-
I'm also Maltese.
No,
so
but like I didn't. But
that
I
shouldn't
didn't
matter.
even know about that about her.
cares?
Like having that part of her life. Yes, because it's a huge part of her life too. It makes her who she is as a person in the sense of everything that's happened.
No, it doesn't.
Because
Does
it was on her
really?
dad's side. No, you're not listening to what I'm saying. How I was raised to how you were raised to how you were raised are different. Being European, it was very strict. Right? I had a very strict. You didn't leave at 18 years old. You stayed until you fucking got married. You weren't going anywhere. I didn't have plant flowers and watch them bloom. You fucking stay in that garden.
Stay in
and
that
if
garden.
it's wilted, you're gonna eat that bitch. That's Do you know what I'm saying? Because it was the fact of how people would view you. So, you don't want to be that divorced person because people are going to start talking, all that bullshit. I mean, my mother, even to this day, she's like, you're going to wait till your kids get older and then you can date. I'll be 70 something years old, but then I can date.
This 70-year-old on TikTok
selfish.
says she doesn't give blowjobs anymore.
I listen, and I agree with
You
this.
don't give blowjobs anymore?
No, 70-year-old
70-year-old.
on TikTok said no. That she drew the line.
That's what but you say no to it too?
I
But
mean,
don't
I
you
don't
think
remember
our
the last
friendship
time.
is a lot different now than what it was in the 30s?
I think we're more
We-
open.
There
Maybe that's
you
what
go.
it is.
Yes,
Maybe
we
that's
were
what
a lot
I'm
more
saying.
open.
Like,
We weren't open in our 30s.
I'm gonna my filter is a little bit gone then. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like
know, I'm
I don't
super
care
proud.
anymore. Like I'll
Because
just
in our
say,
30s, we just, it was at the playground. It was at the school grounds. It was like, hey, how's it going? We'd have our dinners. But no one ever talked about personal shit. She kicked it off. When we were I remember when you told us. We were at my house. It was after the first lockdown. I came back from the UK, and we were having dinner with our other friend. And you turn around, you're like, I think Mike wants a divorce. And we were like, what? You had probably already heard about it. But that's how you opened the gate to talk more about like issues because you never ever spoke about your issues in your marriage.
oh, I thought
Ever.
everything was, you just put
You
your head
never
in the
did. I
sand and
had
everything's
no choice
fine.
because mine put it out in the fucking public.
Well, I do
But
remember
yours-
one day Nigel didn't come home.
Yeah.
Nigel didn't come
Oh,
home, and you're like,
memories.
Krista, we need to go
to the police
we need to
station.
go to the we need to go to the lake.
We need
to go to the beaches to see
Yeah.
if we can find Nigel's floating
Yeah.
body. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? What happened? And so we did.
Just bobbing with the
we
waves.
did walk along the beaches to see
Yes.
if we legit
You
could
didn't
find
know.
your husband
Do you know where I
dead in
found
the
you?
lake.
He didn't come home for 24 hours. Chris and I went to the police station.
To report him missing.
To report
but
him
it's okay
missing.
because he was at a church.
No, remember when I got
No,
home?
he
where
was
did
at
we
a
find him?
monastery.
He was mowing the lawn.
Oh, right.
24 hours
But he
later.
said that it's because he went to church.
He did go to church.
pray to Jesus.
He
to
did
get
go
better.
to church. I feel like our relationship changed as friends. That time when I kicked him out, I was getting the second shop ready, remember? We went to the shop. We went to the old shop. Rachel was getting coffees and he came out and gave me a dirty look. And Krista got out of the car and started yelling, you should be ashamed of yourself.
I think that I took.
be
Yeah, I'm like, you should be. I
and
did.
you were inside.
I did. He came out. He came out on Dawnlands.
Yeah, you were
and
so
he
mad.
tried to look at you like you
Literally look.
like you had done something wrong.
Yeah, like
and
I
I
did
got out of
something
the
wrong.
car.
Yes, yes,
And I
yes.
feel
Like he
like
smirked at
all
me.
of my anger from all of our husbands just came out and was directed at Nigel and was like, "You
Yeah.
call yourself a father.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
look in the mirror. You should be ashamed of
like
your
that's
behavior."
when our relationship
And it wasn't
really
quiet.
took the
I
next
was
level.
not
No,
quiet.
you're not quiet. But
That was the next
And
level.
Rachel walked out of the coffee shop and then turned around and walked right back into the coffee shop. She's like, "Not
wrong with
today,
you guys?
I
What
will
are
not
you
be a part of
doing?"
this today."
But
like,
that's
no.
if you think about
This is
that,
too much
when
before my coffee.
Yes, that's when it turned. Like that's where the real support.
And it wasn't. I
Of the
feel like
three
it
of
was
us
like
came into
everything was
play.
like my girlfriend had gone through a divorce
Yeah.
too, where her husband like left her for a stripper,
Yeah.
and I was like. All of my
Yes, I remember
anger,
that. Yeah.
all of my anger for these awful men who, like, once you reach the age of 40, leave you and find something better. It was like all directed at Nigel at that time.
But do you know what I appreciated? Because we all know, even I knew, that it was such a huge mistake for me to move to England. We all knew it.
But you needed to do it.
But I needed
because
to
you
do
didn't
it.
believe that it
And
was
nobody
over.
told me that it was a mistake.
No, because we couldn't say
Nobody- no.
anything. You need to go to
Yeah.
believe that it was over.
Yes.
And you had to make that decision
Yes.
and realize it for yourself.
100%. Because that I appreciate. I mean, Rachel took me out. We went shopping the very last day, literally before I left. I think if you guys had like obviously put it down or whatever the case may be, it would have obviously caused problems for no reason, but they would have. But for me,
Because
that was a
you
huge
cut
thing.
people out. Of
Oh,
your life.
cut big time out.
You cut people out of your life.
Yeah, I do. But not the ones that I care.
No, we don't let you leave us.
No, but that was a huge thing for me. I have a good amount of people, and it's a small group that were there with me when that happened, when I decided to move to the UK, and when I came back, had their arms open, when I had the depression, all that stuff. It's the same people that are in my group. I will not allow anyone in, nor will I let you leave. It's there. But it's interesting because I tell you now, man, our 30, the people, us that we were in our 30s, if we could see what we went through, Jesus Christ.
That's why we're here, though.
I know. That is
So,
true.
looking forward then,
Yeah.
what scares you the most about getting older and aging?
Oh God, for me, it's actually being on my own. I will kid you not. I feel like I will never meet somebody. I don't know why it's in my head, and I shouldn't put that out in the universe.
No.
100%. On one side, but on the flip side, since losing my dad, I also 100% feel that he's gonna bring me somebody in replacement of not having him.
Oh, I thought you were going to go the opposite. Like, you're also going to die. That's where you were going with that story. I'm
Anytime
also.
soon. But that also it plays because I'm so used to being on my own in my marriage. Before I was single for a very long time. After I'm still single, so I can't actually picture myself with somebody that's gonna treat me equal. I have a very
You will.
I have a hard
You
time.
have to let yourself be open to it.
have to be nice.
You have to be nice and smile at people.
But that's my fear of growing old, lonely on one aspect. But if it happens, it happens. I'm not gonna hold it against myself. You?
Oh, I think maybe like getting older and like noticeably older while Brody is still younger.
Yeah.
That's hard to think about.
It scares you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm
context, she's in a relationship that she's an age gap.
There's an
where
age
you're
gap.
16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's I think there's a 16-year difference between me and my husband. So it makes me a little nervous. And again, I'm going into this marriage a little bit jaded, right? Like
Yes.
if my 25-year marriage could end with a text message,
Yeah.
what's keeping this together either, right? So a little bit jaded where Brody's like, true love, this is going to, till we die, all this stuff. And I'm like,
But can I
Hopefully.
tell you, this man, I love watching him. He is so in love with you. The way he dotes on you, the way he calls you way too much when we're together. I look at him and it just makes me so happy for you because he's so in love with you. So again, whatever happens, and hopefully if you do end up breaking up, you've hit dementia by then. You're not gonna remember fuck all. It's gonna be fine. We'll be in our homes together.
we need him to take care of us.
We need to take care of us because I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna be single by then because I'm so bitter. But how he treats you, and I'm not saying it's because of an age thing, because I actually, when I see you two together, I don't see a difference. Yeah. I don't see it in the looks. I don't see it in the personality, because you can be immature as well. I don't see it any. But the way when he calls you my love, it melts my heart for you. I have never cried at a wedding in my entire life, and I cried at yours because what you wrote and what he wrote were just it was so true to the two of you. And I'm so happy that I was there for it because I was telling you, don't fucking get married again. What are you, delusional? But I'm glad that happened because he does, I'm so happy that you got that second chance. Honest to God. So whatever happens, fuck it, Krista. It's going to happen. You can't change life. It is what it is. It's going to happen whatever way it goes. This part of your life, you'll always remember.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's my little take on it. Sorry. What about you?
The goal is to age, obviously with grace, with power. I don't want to be
With money.
with money, but I don't want to not be able to ever take care of myself physically.
Yeah.
So maybe that's one thing. Although I was watching a TikTok because I get all my entertainment from there, basically, and this woman was telling how when you get older you lose your vagina, and it's basically
Sorry,
just
what?
turkey jerky.
Sorry, what?
What do you mean you lose your vagina? I don't think I have it now.
It disappears.
Doesn't. So what does that mean?
Because you lose your testosterone or something like that, and it turns like your lady bits turn into turkey jerky. So good luck with your younger husband. That's all I'm saying.
Is that a 70?
No, it wasn't even the 70-year-old who said
Stop it.
Yeah.
So what do you do to
Stop.
fix that? Do you
I don't
just
know.
keep working out?
You'd have
What
to
do you
ask a
do?
Plastic surgeon.
What do you think? Sit-ups is going to help that?
Kegel
Kegel.
exercises. Fucking what's that?
Thigh master?
Thigh master. That's real
Susan
fucking
Summers.
Asian us.
Girl, are you? Come on, don't. Why
I'm
did
telling
throw
you.
this
You
into
better
this?
find a boyfriend real fucking fast.
TikTok. It's TikTok o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe tonight.
Yeah. There we go. Anyone single going to the Vatican tonight?
Or any night,
yeah.
really.
We have to wrap up.
Why would that's so depressing? We have to wrap up
I
with
know,
that comment
wrap up.
that
No,
we're gonna
we're
wrap
not
up
gonna
vaginas
jerk.
in the next 5 years.
The dried up vaginas is how you want to end this
Should
conversation?
I ask? Do we need to ask our moms to show us their vaginas? I'm
No, stop. This hasn't been traumatic enough as it is.
No, we are not ending the conversation on that. I'm going to ask you all. I vote you look at her mom's.
Oh God.
One word to describe this phase of life. This is how we're going to end this podcast, and go.
Oh God. One word.
Joyful?
One word to end this phase of life. Going into this phase of life.
The one you're in.
Unpredictable.
Strong. I'm going to say strong. I want to change mine to strong.
Strong.
Unpredictable, which is exciting for me.
I'm going to say exciting.
Yeah. I actually am excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Yeah.
And I'm excited that you all came here today. So
for
thank
having
you so
us.
much for coming.
you. We'd love to come
And
back,
we will
wouldn't
do
we?
this
No,
again.
Bestie,
Always
bestie
have drinks.
podcast. I like
Yes.
this one.
I'm being the responsible one.
Yeah.
So drink
You
up.
do that. We'll drink for you.